1:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. And coming up on Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai, following the Grizzlies and the Suns, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Peter Vesey with scores and highlights from around the league, including the Philadelphia 76ers' huge win tonight at Utah without Allen Iverson.
The team has a lot of courage. They play hard every night. They pick up for each other when they are missing critical players. Without Geiger most of the year, Tyrone Hill has been out for them. Iverson out tonight.
And Dikembe Mutombo, Michael Finley also had big nights for their teams. You see it all on Inside the NBA. Here's Reeves. What a ball game for Big Country Reeves, offensively and off the boards. 12 points for Reeves. And Phoenix comes right back. It's a 1-point Vancouver lead. How about Jason Kidd?
Jason Kidd making 3 big shots in a row for Phoenix. Down 6 points. Suddenly it's back to a 1-point game.
Jason Kidd with 23, and all 12 have come in this fourth quarter. Here's pressure by the Suns as we come up on 1 minute remaining in the fourth. Bibby kicks it out. Dickerson open. And off the back tap, last touch by Phoenix. It will be Vancouver ball.
Remember we said that when they come down the end of the game, you're faced with making big shots. We saw Reeves make a big jumper last time down. There's a new shot clock now, 24 seconds remaining. This possession, obviously very big for Vancouver.
And the Grizzlies have the full 24. 1:05 remaining in the fourth. Harrington from Bibby. Rejected emphatically by Marion. Recovered by Bibby. Still lots of time on the shot clock. Down to 12. And a foul is called on Delk. So that'll put Bibby at the line. And he is an excellent foul shooter at 81%.
Bibby put the pressure on Delk. The crossover dribble, found the seam, went right to the basket, cut off the angle, so Delk could not recover and stop him from getting to the front of the rim. The body contact, and now 2 free throw attempts.
It's been an excellent shooting game. Vancouver at 52%. Phoenix at 50% from the field. Grizzlies now lead 94-92. It's a 3-point Vancouver lead. Down to 50 seconds to go in the fourth. Kidd played by Bibby. Here's Kidd, and a foul call. Basket. Will it count? Did he get the call on the continuation?
And what happened that time was, yes, the rest of the Vancouver players stayed at home, guarded the people behind the 3-point line, did not want to give up a 3-point shot. Instead, he's going to have an opportunity to get a 3-point play by making the layup and going to the free throw line. The foul, they feel, takes place outside before he made the shot attempt at the basket.
What do you think?
Well, that's where they want to call right there before he picks up that last dribble. And when I'm referring to Vancouver, the coaching staff and the players, the official felt that he was on his way. It was a continuation, gave him the basket and the free throw attempt. Big box out right now for Vancouver. Don't give him the ball back if there's a miss.
And on the foul, Mike Bibby picks up number 6. He's fouled out, leaving with 21. He finished hitting 7 of his last 8 after starting 1 for 6. So the game is tied at 95. Jason Kidd single-handedly bringing the Suns back. He scored the last 10 points for Phoenix. Edwards, off-balance shot by Kevin Edwards, and a timeout taken by 5 with 28 and 7/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. The last 2 times these teams met, they went to overtime. November 29th here in Vancouver. Grizzlies won in double overtime, and the previous game was won by Vancouver in overtime. Mike Bibby has fouled out. He had a hot hand down the stretch. Jason Kidd has propelled the Phoenix Suns over the last minute and a half. He has scored all 10 Phoenix points.
And Vancouver coming out with Abdul Rahim on the floor. They feel it's a better matchup for them this way. They take Reeves out of the game. They must make sure they secure the basketball. They still have timeouts left to advance it if they want to, with 5 seconds difference between the 24-second clock and the game clock. And this is going to be a flattened out, maybe flashing into a high pick and roll for Phoenix.
All right, here's Kidd pitching out to Marion. Marion not able to hit. Kidd with the tip with 12 and 7/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Prior to the game, he mentioned that when he sat out the game, the Detroit game, because of the bad back, bad knee, and then when he came back the next day to practice, he basically didn't do very much for 2 more days. So it was like 3 days that they kind of gave him off from physical activity. Well, he comes back against Denver with a triple-double. Here again tonight, an outstanding performance. Scott said it was like he just needed a break, going the whole summer through the Olympics, right into training camp, playing straight through. And we see maybe a re-energized Jason Kidd here.
Sidney Lowe going with Harrington, Dickerson, Jones, Reeves, and Edwards. So Abdul Rahim not on the floor.
Well, obviously the guy that you're trying to get the ball to is Dickerson, who's had a hot hand all night. He's the guy that you're hoping can make the big shot.
All right, Dickerson played by Kidd, down to 5. Dickerson facing the double. Edwards with the shot. It's deflected out with 2/10 of a second remaining. Good double by the Suns on Dickerson.
Now this is under 3/10 of a second. There cannot be a possession. All they can do is throw in the air and tip the ball into the basket. If it rests in the hand, it's no good.
All right, here it is. No, it won't count. It did rest in the hand, as you mentioned, of a fella Harrington, and it's all over. Another tough loss for the Vancouver Grizzlies. Once again, they lose by 2. It's being explained to the players now. Ted Bernhardt in a conversation with Vancouver head coach Sidney Lowe. The Phoenix Suns have left the court. Now the Grizzlies, understanding that this ball game is over. Here's another look at it.
Because the pass was so low, to control it, Harrington had to let it come to rest in his hand. You have to throw that ball up in the air so he can tip it and have a chance to win. Any possession nullifies it if it's 3/10 of a second or less on the clock.
For the Phoenix Suns, a remarkable all-around performance by Jason Kidd. 28 points, 17 in the fourth quarter. He scored the last 12 Phoenix points. Let's go to Cheryl and Jason.
Jason, first of all, what is it about you in Vancouver that seems to bring the best out of the Suns or the worst out of the Suns?
Well, it does bring the worst, but I enjoy coming to a different country, I guess. I like these baskets. I'm going to have to get Jerry on the phone and see if he can bring them back home. But I like coming here and playing in front of a national crowd and also just having fun, and that's what we did tonight.
It just seemed like the last 2 minutes of the game, you had a mindset that you're going up against a team that's had a tough time getting stops, and you took advantage of that.
Yeah, well, we had to make stops and get the ball, and we had to take some quick shots, but Cotton told me something about when you're down, take the ball to the basket and don't, sell for a 3. So I kept taking the ball to the basket, got fouled, and got a 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and that just, really opened the basket up for me.